A famous psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl ने बोला है कि मीनिंग buffers suffering. अब ये मीनिंग जो है ये हम लाइफ में क्या कर रहे हैं इसके ऊपर हम थोड़ा बातचीत करेंगे क्योंकि many of us we work from a reactive perspective, not from a proactive way. Whatever comes to us, we react to it instantly. कुछ चाहिए हमको, कुछ देना पड़ेगा, कुछ करना पड़ेगा, जो भी है. लेकिन क्यों ये कर रहे हैं थोड़ा पीछे जाके जब हम इसको सोचने की मजबूर होते हैं, then we slowly kind of find why we are doing what we are doing. तो फ्रैंकल ने 3 मेन एवेन्यूज इसके लिए प्रपोज किया था. एक है क्रिएटिव वैल्यूज, एक्सपीरियंशियल वैल्यूज और एटीट्यूडिनल वैल्यूज. अभी क्रिएटिव वैल्यूज जो है, बाय क्रिएटिंग अ वर्क और डूइंग अ डीड, एक करना पड़ेगा. सेकेंड है एक्सपीरियंशियल वैल्यूज, जहां पे आपको टू एक्सपीरियंस समथिंग यू नीड बिट ऑफ अ लव, बिट ऑफ अ रिलेशनशिप टुवर्ड्स इट. और थर्ड है कि एक एटीट्यूडिनल वैल्यू. सो एटीट्यूड हो सकता है कि हम थोड़ा करेजियस है, थोड़ा डिग्निफाइड है, या हम लोग थोड़ा डर जाते हैं, जो भी है. तो ये 3 तरीके से हम मीनिंग को खोज सकते हैं, कुछ करके, कुछ एक्सपीरियंस करके, या हमारा जो एटीट्यूड है वो एटीट्यूड से कुछ हम पा सकते हैं. ये मीनिंग क्यों जरूरी है कि जो भी हम कर रहे हैं इसका एक माने है हमारा जीवन में. And that's what he talks about, this buffer. ये मीनिंग और कुछ नहीं है. They are just keep you mentally resilient, mentally healthy and capable of enduring hardship. क्योंकि वो बफरिंग आपको मीनिंग दे रहा है. ठीक है, हम आज ये काम कर रहे हैं जो मेरे को उतना मजा नहीं दे रहा है, या उतना I'm compromising something in my life, but the reward I'm hoping is much bigger than what I'm doing at the moment.
This whole question of meaning and buffers that Victor talks about, I think in the first episode of our chat, Gautamji, we explored this whole concept of swadharma, of how do you find your purpose in life? What can you do to rediscover what is it that keeps you going in life? What is your swadharma? What is the anchor? What is the compass that you will use to figure out which direction should your life head to? What is it that you want to be doing? And if you recall, we spent a lot of time in that episode discovering swadharma. This whole point of being a Karm Yogi, karma is different from karma. Karma is the work that we do. The whole point of yoga is to join, to make sure that whatever you're doing is joined, okay, in a very joyous way. That is yoga. So, can we actually do our karma, the work that we are supposed to do, in a way that joins us? So, what should it be joining in? Karm Yoga will help you move from what is to what can be. That is the whole point of adopting an attitude of a Karm Yogi. Because a Karm Yogi is in a position to figure out that this is where you are, this is where you can be, now let's bridge this particular gap. That's the Karm Yogi. Make sure that this path that you need to take to go from X to Y, unification, this journey that you need to go on from here to here, okay? And what is the kind of karma that you need to do? Karma is nothing but what is the kind of action that you need to perform to get into that. And you talked about Viktor Frankl and the whole meaning buffers that he talks about. This particular concept of not knowing where you are at this point of time, or not knowing where you want to go. Both are challenges. Invariably, we refuse to smell the coffee. We refuse to understand where am I right now. And sometimes, Gautamji, you need help in that. You need to talk to someone like me. You need to talk to someone like Gautam who can help you understand where are you right now. Sometimes, you live in a delusional world and start thinking that you know everything. And that is why he's brought in those whole 3 values that he talks about, right? The whole point is that if you look at that, whether creative values or experiential values or attitudinal values that you talked about, amongst the 3, I believe those attitudinal values are most important because they help you get into that meaning. So this vacuum that you adhered to, that you talked about a little earlier, is not knowing where you are and refusing to acknowledge that, or not knowing where you want to be, refusing to acknowledge that, or both, which is the worst case scenario. And this is the vacuum. A Karm Yogi is someone, my favorite example in all of this is that, when you're doing some particular activity at this point of time, if you can focus on the action that you're doing right now and then moving, one step at a time up in that ladder, you will get to where you want to be. That's how a Karm Yogi makes sure that his or her mind is completely focused on the karma, because they know that this karma is something that will take them to where they want to be. So let us say अभी आपका टर्नओवर $100 million है और आपकी इच्छा है कि मुझे $100 million से $200 million पहुंचना है। गलत नहीं है, क्योंकि हम लोग कहते हैं धर्मस्य मूलम अर्थः। So artha is not a bad word. You must make sure that you want to go to $200 million, and that's a very good thing. But make sure that this vacuum that is there is bridged. How? Being a Karm Yogi, focusing on the karma at this point of time. In the Bhagavad Gita and chapter 2, there's a beautiful shloka which says Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Unfortunately, very, very badly interpreted. The interpretation that you should not have a goal, you should not worry about the fruits of your action. That's a wrong interpretation. The point of that shloka is not that. The point of that shloka is, just because there is some place that you want to reach to $200 million, don't put so much of anxiety onto yourself. What we talked about in the last episode. Don't put so much of anxiety in yourself that you are now figuring your karma in such a way of how to get there. There must be a certain purity in the way you're approaching your karma right now. Are you giving your best shot right now? We talked about the T20 cricket some time back. Yes, at the end of the match, there will be a winner, there will be a loser. So if you're a batsman, are you bringing your A game to face this ball at this point of time? If you're a bowler, are you bringing all your skills as a bowler, all the knowledge that you have, all the wisdom that you have, the conditions, the pitch, the batsman, the ball? Are you bringing all of that wisdom into delivering that particular ball in a way that the batsman will find it unplayable? Or are you saying, I need to get a wicket now? Bowling the ball in such a way that you're putting pressure on yourself. Instead, can you come and deliver that ball in such a beautiful way with all the skill that you have? The batsman will make a mistake. You leave it to him. Or if you're a batsman, can you face the ball with all the skill, the wisdom that you've got, that you will score a 6, a 4, a single, or defend it, or whatever it is that you need to do? Because your job at that point of time, your karma is not to lose your wicket and to score if it is possible. So this is a Karm Yogi. Now, how do entrepreneurs take Karm Yogi and make it into their thing? I was in a sales meeting yesterday. I said, yes, we have a target. Our target is to reach 1,000 crores, and we will reach 1,000 crores. There's no question about it. But when you guys go into the market today, it's an FMCG product, it's a coffee product. I said, when you go into the market today and you're talking to that retailer, can you make sure that you don't worry about 1,000 crores? You will reach 1,000 crores. Can you now focus your entire energies on how can that retailer make more money? Because that is why he's there. He wants to make money. Can you go to the retailer? So I keep telling sales guys, how does a Karm Yogi operate? You know how he operates, Goutam? I say, can I talk to you, Goutam, if you're a prospective client of mine, and say, Gautamji, what are your KRAs? What are your KPIs? Can I make your KRA my KRA? Can I make your KPI, key performance indicators, can I make it mine? So what does the retailer want? He wants to make money. So can I talk to him about how I as a sales guy am going to help him make money by selling my coffee? I said, you focus on that, yeah. Don't try and go in dukaan mein 25 bottle thoko. Some of your people may be running a restaurant or running some kind of a facility, and the customer comes in. Well, you would like him to order the most expensive item on the menu, and maybe she will. But can you make sure that the experience that customer is having right now is the best possible experience that that customer can have. That is what a Karm Yogi does. Focus on the now. Your Karm should be in the now. And when you're doing that, you will get to that point that you want to reach in life.
So आप कितना बड़ा लीडर स्लैश एंटरप्रेन्योर स्लैश बिजनेसमैन, जितना बड़ा आप हो या जितना आपका काम बड़ा है या आपका धंधा बड़ा है, एक पैरामीटर उसका यह है कि आप कितना लोगों के लाइफ टच कर रहे हो या कितना लोगों के साथ आप काम कर रहे हो. एंड व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग विथ लॉट ऑफ पीपल, एडम ग्रांट का एक थियरी है व्हिच आई रियली लाइक, व्हिच काइंड ऑफ आई यूज इट फॉर अ फिल्टर. दुनिया में दो तरीके के लोग होते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम. वन इज गिवर एंड वन इज टेकर. ठीक है, तो गिवर लोग बेसिकली आप उन लोगों के साथ जब काम करना चाहोगे, दे विल लाइक टू ऐड मोर, दे विल लाइक टू कंट्रीब्यूट, दे विल लाइक टू टेक you in that journey. Whereas takers, they basically suck whatever possible out of you. They will follow a transactional relationship. They will like, I will give you this. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? और गिवर एंड टेकर दो तरह का होता है. एक है एग्रीएबल और एक है डिसएग्रीएबल. बहुत सारे लोग एग्रीएबल गिवर है. They are really, really, really good people, but somehow, because of our education, because of our societal oppression, because of our political, socio-political situation, whatever, we don't reward them the way they should be rewarded. Okay. बाकी ठीक है, डिसएग्रीएबल गिवर हम उसके साथ नेगोशिएट कर सकते हैं. डिसएग्रीएबल टेकर वो तो एकदम ही फालतू है, आप ऐसे ही निकाल दो उसको. What I really like is agreeable taker. वो आपके साथ एग्री भी कर रहा है और ट्रांजैक्शनल रिलेशन भी मतलब मेंटेन कर रहा है. According to Adam Grant, he calls them faker. They are not agreeable takers. They are actually fakers. How you can spot them? आप उनको पूछो कि आपके लाइफ जहां तक आए हैं, tell me 3 or 5 people who help you in your journey. Normally, in log will tell 5 names which are bigger than them, more powerful than them, more wealthier than them, because they always like to, kiss their whatever. Whereas the really agreeable giver, they always give you name who are below them, most likely. कि उन लोगों ने कुछ किया है उनके लाइफ में, and because of that they all rise. So when we are doing or working with a lot of people, keep this thing in mind out of this faker zone. और ये बात अभी करना बहुत लाजमी भी है, because the next generation, the Gen Zs and all, they are looking for meaning over money in their life, and they understand this kind of purpose, they understand this kind of meaning where they can operate.
Gautamji, there's a very interesting statement that a friend of mine sent. A taker may eat well, but a giver sleeps well. The difference between a giver and a taker is exactly that. Yeah. The taker may have a great meal once in a way, but a giver will sleep well every day. At the end of the day, why are we doing whatever we are doing? How are you going to turn the focus of your effort? You see, this whole Karm Yoga that we talked about is so critical and so important. The focus of your Karm should be on the now. Let's get the best presentation done. Let's get the best pitch deck done. Let's make sure that the quality is fantastic. Let's make sure that whatever ingredients we're going to be using in this particular product is the best ingredients that we can get. Let's make sure that the process that we use is the best process to the best of our abilities. And that is why what happens with givers, that these are people who focus on the now, on what they're able to control, what they're able to do. Because a taker comes from a position that I am not really interested in this person. I'm more interested in myself. So the karma that he will do or she will do is going to be so temporary, so transactional. If this is not working, let's smoke it. Let's put some smoke screen on it so that this buyer is going to buy whatever and go. I'll give you some more interesting thoughts on this giver versus taker and how their karma actually changes. You will find, for instance, people who've got a giving mentality, their karma is giving them geometrical successes, whereas takers may get some temporary breaks, but their growth is largely stagnant. It is not growing. The karma that you do as a giver and the karma that you do as a taker is so different. One will help you grow geometrically. The other will either keep you there or put you on a downward spiral. Because Gautam, you can cheat people, you can fool people maybe once, maybe if you're extraordinarily good, maybe twice, maybe if you're brilliant, maybe three times. But beyond that, people will see through you. So focus on becoming a Karm Yogi and focus on the karma that you can perform.
In the next episode, we will talk about transcend individual ambitions for a larger vision. Yagna Bhava and Tyag. Thanks for watching.